said they want to be treated like princess. What you like? What's the example of that?
That's not literally what I just was asking. Before you get into it, let me just repeat what you said and say it again.
I don't know. It ain't sound like what you was asking, but
Because you cut me the off.
Yo, we got to the point. Doesn't matter who asked the questions. Like, yeah. But like, yo, yeah,
So my point was basically, men nowadays, they want flowers, they want their feet up, they want a bath ran for them, they want home cooked meals. You want all of this, but did you give them a reason?
All right, welcome back to another episode of Daily Wrap Up Crew. No book of, I go by the name of Eli. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, the real Y Eli. I almost fucked that up. Shoot me a DM. I promise you, I get back to everybody. Like,
it's not even new no more. You can't be fucking it up.
Because it's like a tongue twister. Something. It's like right.
The real Y Eli.
When you say fast, like, listen, man.
Yes,
I don't want your veneers to fall out. Don't say it too fast. Like, you know what I mean? Yo, anyway, we got Ace with us. So,
Yo, yes indeed. It's your boy Ace back at it again. I ain't saying I'm polygamous, but you could bring your friend. You heard Ace to go 24.
She don't know that they going back to the crib. Like, that's what you saying? Like, yeah.
Back to the crib. Yeah.
Yo, last but not least, man, we got Jew.
What it do? It's your boy Jew. I might have came in a little late, but still classic show. Great debates. They try to put me in that seat, but I'm kind of husky. But better you than me because Ace is kind of musty. You know what I'm saying?
I was like, I see it come musty.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
that is a real freestyle, and he ain't write that in the car.
You know what I'm saying? I did the Keem shit. I'm late. I got the late bar. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was late on purpose. He did do that Keem shit.
That's fair.
For sure.
Anyway, we got some special guests in the building. Ladies, let them know where they can follow you at.
I'm Blessing. I'm on Instagram under Queen_Isha764.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's your area code? Okay.
Yeah, it's just 3 digits. Is your favorite mixologist Layla? You can follow me at Layla Vendetta on Instagram.
I'm old, so I ain't got nothing special. I'm soft. I ain't giving out my Instagram.
Give out your OnlyFans?
I don't have that.
She tried to beat you to the punch.
My name is Vicky Vaughn. You can follow me on House of Vicky Vaughn.
Mm-hmm. Listen, before we get into this episode, make sure I hit the like button, subscribe if y'all not already subscribed. Cop the merch, man, Dailyrapupcrew.co. Hit the membership, man. Like, I promise you, we got a ton of behind-the-scenes footage. We got access to early episodes, access to live streams, all that good stuff. And make sure y'all listen to the podcast audio every Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Let me get to this first topic, right? Why does it seem like this generation seems to be more content with being single than in past generations? What's your thoughts on that?
Selfishness.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Why you think that? I'm actually interested in that you said
right,
that.
That's okay.
Because everything that we talk about, like traditional relationships, love, that requires selflessness. That requires you to put other people, your spouse, before yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are getting into relationships for what they can get from them, not what they can give. So we've raised a whole generation of, I don't want to say ingrates, but, you know, they're looking for something for nothing, what I can get. And if you realize, once people realize that you have to give more than you're going to receive, then what happens with that is it's not worth it.
Okay, that's valid.
That's a great point.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on this?
For me, I feel like dealing with men in this society now is like.
See, I wasn't gonna bring it to the gender war.
All right, we're not gonna.
But those are her thoughts.
No, you say.
I feel like lately men want to be the princess, and for some reason they want us to be the frog that they kiss. So it's like we're switching roles here.
Okay.
So I'd rather be free and get myself together because I'm tired of bringing a table and you're bringing me trash.
Okay.
And for me, I think it's just all about a peace of mind now, especially as you get older. You season into your age, you know your likes, your dislikes, what you gonna settle for, what you not. And instead of wasting time, you rather just not deal with it. You know what I mean? So if everybody just being real and I hook up with you and you hook up with me, we either gonna make it work, no OnlyFans, or we not.
Okay, what's your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to agree with my good friend over here as far as the selfishness is concerned. And also, there's no real influence anymore. So remember, these younger generations, very influential. So if they see it online, they're going to go with it. They see it on here, they're going to go with it. If it's on a shirt, they're going to go with it. It's not trendy. You know what I mean? It's not trendy to be in a relationship. It's not trendy to have that love. It's not trendy right now.
It's not likable.
It's not.
Especially in the summertime. Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants it. But that's always been a thing. Once May hit, everything has always been like,
It's
you gotta start that argument.
It's May and Christmas.
Not start the argument. You could have did that when the year dropped.
That's
when
it.
the ball
That
dropped.
January.
It was too cold. It was too cold.
I still needed a blanket.
It's just not a trendy
Oh,
thing
you needed
for
somewhere
a
to
lot
live?
of people.
Is that what it is?
No, he didn't need somewhere to live. Don't make.
I'm not talking to you.
No. Don't agree to that. Because
That's
the
what he
comments gonna say,
said.
"See, he's some ass
right.
nigga." Like,
You're right.
don't let her get away with
That's the whole
that.
term,
Like,
homosexual.
like,
Don't
do it.
Don't do that.
I just
Edit
needed
that part out.
I just needed the.
Edit.
My boy, he got,
It was a
he
joke.
got his
It was
own
a joke. I
house,
caught the
man.
joke.
Like,
I caught the
don't. They be trying to live with him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I got your back.
He got a
I your back.
bed. He got a king size bed.
Yeah, facts though.
What's your thoughts on this, Ace?
I just think it's just too many options, man. People feel like they got too many options, so they don't want to settle. You know what I mean? They looking for that perfect match and the perfect person for them. So yeah, I think they just think that they gonna go out and find Mr. Perfect or Mrs. Perfect, and yeah, everybody feel like, if you're not gonna do exactly what I want when I want. I got a million people in my DM, so I mean, like, social media has just made everybody accessible, and it's giving you the full sense of security. Like, you know what I mean, I got a fallback option if this don't work out. So yeah.
Jew.
I kind of agree with a little bit of everybody. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I think there were great points made.
Yeah, they spit.
I do want to tap onto what you said about
Me?
men. No. I'm sorry. What's your name again? Layla. Men want to be treated like princesses, I'm assuming. But why would you think that, or what are women doing to be treated like the
Wait,
frog?
but before you get into that though, like,
I see what this is about.
you said they want to be treated like princess. What do you like? What's the example of that?
That's not literally what I just was asking. This nigga said, excuse me, before you get into it, let me just repeat what you said and say it again.
I don't know. It ain't sound like what you was asking, but anyway.
Because you cut me the fuck off.
Yo, we got to the point. Doesn't matter who asked the question. Like, yeah, but like, yeah, you were saying.
So my point was basically, men nowadays, they want flowers. They want their feet rubbed. They want a bath ran for them. They want home cooked meal. You want all of this, but did you give me a reason?
Don't you gotta eat? Don't we both gotta eat?
But did you give me a reason?
But that was also a choice you made.
We
too.
both do have to eat. So at what point do you get in the kitchen and cook something? Because I get up and go to work just like
look,
you. I'm
this
not
whole
sitting
this
home
whole
waiting
thing
for
about
you all
men
day.
not wanting to cook. Men cook.
Not all of them.
I don't know if how many women have fathers around, but I know y'all father. If y'all had a father around, he cooked. Did your daddy cook?
100. He
Mine
still
did
does.
too.
Okay. I'm a daddy. I
Mine
cook.
did too.
So
Still does.
all the fathers out there, I know them niggas know how to cook. A lot of them know how to cook. So this whole notion of men not cooking, I'm tired of hearing it. It's a lie.
But we're
It's a
not
myth.
saying you don't know how to.
No.
We're saying you don't want to.
No.
Is the difference.
What I'm saying is whether I want to or don't want to, I'm out here cooking. I'm cooking every day if I have to. You know what I'm saying? So, but we always hear the pushback from women saying, oh, why y'all want somebody to cook for y'all? Why y'all want somebody? It's our crib. If you happen to be home, you clean the shit. If I happen to be
Traditional.
home,
That's how it's supposed to go.
That's how it's supposed
That's how it's supposed to go.
I just want to know what's the pushback from,
I think there's validity to what she's saying, right?
What's
but
that?
then about the feminization of men, right? But then the counter of that, and they can say it, and they wouldn't be wrong, is the masculinity of women, right?
Yes.
So in dealing with that, it's true on both parts. We took the worst parts of each other and decided to become them, right? Women took the worst parts of men. Oh, he can be with this many people that I could do the same thing, right? We took the worst part, the parts that we don't even like about men. and they took the worst parts of women.
The parts that y'all
Right.
claim y'all don't like about men.
No, trust me, we
What do you
don't.
mean clean?
Trust me, we don't.
I mean,
Women, they don't like men cheating. Have they adapted? Have they accepted? Absolutely. But do they want it? No, they don't.
I mean, nobody likes men cheat. I mean, nobody
Just the
likes
same way
people
you don't
cheating.
like women cheating on you.
But they do
We're
it.
human, right?
Yeah, they do it.
We're human, right? That idea that men or women, we feel things differently. No, we're human.
But I think what they was envying
just-
is that men was out and open with it. Because it was known like, no, niggas ain't shit. They always
I
cheating.
think we're
Y'all
going
wasn't out in
and-
the open. Y'all was just getting caught. There's a difference.
It was a stigma like, oh, men cheat. There was nobody saying, oh, women is the cheaters in relationships. But y'all was doing it. Y'all just wasn't getting caught doing it.
We still don't.
It happens. It
Huh?
does. It happens
Gonna
on
get
both
the lick
ends
back.
of the spectrum, right? And then we could get into conversations about nature and all that
Right.
stuff. I don't think that's even on topic tonight. So let's just,
Ooh.
let's just
Really quickly, the biggest thing that women don't like doing that they want to take from the man is pay. And men are not even asking you to pay all. We said go half. And that was a problem.
some.
So,
For
so
some.
Yeah.
here's
For
the
some,
thing.
that's true.
This
For
is where
some.
your
For
problem
some.
lies, right? Because the majority of men that say let's do half don't want to do half in the house. If you don't want to do half in the house,
Why is he there?
I agree with you. Trust me, you will get no argument here.
Mhm.
But my point is that the majority of men that are requiring half, right, are not willing to do the half at home. So when you add, if I'm working 12 hours a day and you're working 12 hours a day, and then I got to get home and I have to cook and clean and take care of the kids, it's no longer half. I'm doing way more than you. I'm outworking you as a woman.
I think we need to stop bailing women out and just assuming that all these women is cooking and cleaning. I've seen a lot of y'all Uber Eats accounts is in the negatives. Like y'all Uber Eating it up. Don't act like y'all out here cooking and cleaning.
What
Every
age
woman.
range do
But
of women
this
do
is-
say?
We talking about this generation,
This
this era.
generation
You know what I'm
we're talking
saying? Like
about.
I know the older
This
generation.
generation.
Obviously, y'all was raised with those traits or whatever the case is. But the women nowadays, they're not cooking and cleaning. They're not doing all this, but they still are requiring men to do X, Y, and Z. And then they're saying, well, I don't have to cook and clean. That's both
what
men and women can do
media
it. I don't
taught them.
have to take care of kids. Both men so it's almost like women are relinquishing their roles in a relationship, but while still saying that a man has to do X, Y, and Z, or he's not a real man.
But
Like,
it's
you know what I
both
mean?
roles because we both can
Everybody's-
do it. He's a whole dad.
Yeah, no,
He
that's
said
fair.
He cooks,
That's fair.
He cleans and he deals with his kids.
Yeah, but-
Yeah, but he's not amongst the generation that we're talking about.
This generation.
I ain't gonna
men
front.
don't
Some of these,
listen.
I got
The older men?
There's some homegirls out here I know. They
Hold on.
still out here saying they want niggas to pay this and pay that, and they getting money. And why he worrying about my money? And,
Why are you dating that person that cannot equal you?
Yeah.
You have to date your yoke. What are you doing?
I think just to go back to like why people are just more accepting of the single her behavior is just that, I think a lot of people are looking at the economy right now and saying like, I don't want that necessary pressure of having to deal with supporting another individual that I can't really afford to. I could barely afford myself. So, how can I afford a kid or whatever the case is? Children are expensive. You've seen the birth rates, not even just in America, just globally, the birth rates are low, except for in Africa. No motherfuckers is popping out kids. But just in general, like the birth rates are declining because people are realizing, like, unfortunately, in this economy, kids are a financial burden that I can't afford to like kind of just, deal with right now.
What you do with that? Protect yourself. Well, not you, but people.
everybody.
Oh yeah. So I think the benefit of people are realizing, especially men are realizing we could get the same benefits of being single and that we could get in a relationship. There's no incentive for us to be in a relationship if we could get the loyalty.
Or committed relationship.
Yeah, a committed relationship. If we get the loyalty, we could get the kids, we could get, the sex, like everything that has been associated with being in a relationship, we could get that for free now because of this whole sexual liberation movement. There's I could do what a man can do. So there is really no incentive for a man to really commit
Meaning
when he could play.
from the woman that the woman is saying that those are the things that you can get for free. The kid,
No, the men
No,
are saying that. Men are saying that.
men
They
are
don't
saying
have
Yeah,
to
they
commit.
can.
We
They
don't have to
yeah,
commit
you
because
get
we have
that.
access to the woman that we was only supposed to get when we was in a relationship.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? A child was never supposed this whole out of wedlock situation, that wasn't supposed to really be a thing. It wasn't supposed to be glamorized, wasn't supposed to be popularized. But now it's just like, oh, I'll go get you, I'll get a baby out of you, I'll get a baby out of you. I don't have to commit. I don't gotta put a ring on I don't gotta put a ring on you or nothing. I can
where
get
did that
this.
stem from?
I think it stemmed from and like I said, I'm not an expert on this, but again, when you start to see this advancement of this whole sexualization of the women's movement, the sexual liberation movement, it becomes, well, I can have sex with whoever I want without a commitment. And guys are like, okay, fuck it,
It's
cool. Like, you know what
trendy.
I'm saying? Like, yeah, like
TV brought it to
Social media.
Yeah, TV
Social
brought it
media
up.
was the
Even-
downfall of if you weren't in the era of
When Instagram
early
was
2000s, early 2000, and
Yeah.
you didn't establish that right then and there, the chances are, not saying, I don't want to speak that over anybody, but it's very slim to find the 90s love and stuff like that. You're going to have to go to another country.
It
And
really
then-
came from attractive women who couldn't get a man to settle down with them. They started the march. Attractive women that were just out here. I'm talking about
Amber Rose?
She's one of them. I mean, if
she did that slut walk.
Yeah,
That
I'm
slut
saying.
walk was.
But what I'm saying, a lot of women stood behind her, but she could have got any guy, the top tier dudes,
And
whatever,
but she didn't
that-
have the, she couldn't keep them.
But that's the thing. She then said, instead of saying she couldn't keep them, she said, I didn't need them. And then the other women, they was like, yeah, you right, girl. You don't need that
That
nigga.
shit
And
came
then
from-
that was the march.
Man,
Well-
that stuff comes from unhealed childhood trauma why you can't get through stuff. So now
And
you're
then-
going to keep attracting the people that you don't like because you don't like yourself. That's
That's
that.
true. But I think what he was saying went back to what I was saying about selfishness. He talked about all the things that I can get from a woman,
Mhm.
then don't have to give anything,
There you go.
right? And so if you want to ask, where did it stem from? The nature of men,
Mhm.
right? It's Spartan, give nothing, take everything,
Mhm.
right? So this is, women have had this complaint about men for thousands
Yup.
of years. It's
Mhm.
not new.
Men ain't just started
Right?
having babies
What is
outside of their
new-
marriage. They was doing that back when they was in cave years.
Right. What is new is our bank account.
But so that lets you know that monogamy is not natural.
right.
Yeah.
74. We can have, and now we're in a position to be equally as selfish as they are.
Mm.
Right. So I don't need him to pay my bills or whatever. But what I can use him for and need him for, we learn too. If men are the leaders, that attitude of Spartanness, give nothing and take everything. Eventually, right? Your women will adopt that
Adapt
behavior.
to it.
Your children will adopt
Agreed.
that behavior, and so here we are.
Yeah, but what does a woman gain by giving away her body, her womb, and like what does she gain? I know what a man would gain out of it. What does she gain out of it? Like, 'cause
Not
y'all say y'all
so
don't be
much.
having these
Not so
orgasms and all
much.
this, so y'all giving away all y'all bodies to every man, and y'all not really getting nothing out of it.
Yeah, 100%
Besides
right.
pregnancy, like you know what I mean. So
100% agree.
What we getting out of it is our kid.
is it what?
So
Is
look,
our kid.
it varies from woman to woman and what that woman is looking for, right? Some women are looking for validation from men because this is what we've been taught,
Mm.
right? So that's what they're looking for. They want love, they want companionship, and I'm a better woman if I can get them to love me.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
Right.
saying historically men has been selfish towards women?
You don't think so?
I thought men
Look,
were
it's
like
to
was
today.
You talking about the same men that was
Today, he
protected,
just-
Protected
he
and
just
provided for
said-
since the
provided.
But
beginning
when
of
you
time.
say
On the wall for
protecting and
women, like-
providing,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
That's
So
the
let's
shit
go
up
back
in
to
the
what he just said, right? We
Right.
can get this from you, that from you, that, and I don't have
Well,
to
we
give
saying
anything.
since the beginning of time.
That
right?
and that has not always been the case because we've
I-
been complaining about cheating since the beginning of time.
First of
this
all,
isn't-
it wasn't no cheating in
Hold on,
caveman
oh,
times.
no,
Like,
yes, there was.
What?
And even with beef and other things, it wasn't even human.
Well,
like
what book you read that from? That
So
they was
many.
writing it on the cave
So
walls,
many
like you know what
books,
I'm
man.
saying?
I've
Like,
read so many.
yeah,
So
was,
now, and
I
it's
regret
just,
that.
and then we can get into the nature of it, right? Because as women, it doesn't come natural to us, right? But I can look outside of what comes natural to me. Monogamy comes natural to me. I would never want to be with a man who's with multiple women,
Mhm.
right? That's what comes natural to me. But now I take myself out of the equation and look at it realistically, biologically, right? If you're supposed to be monogamous, we only have children till a certain point, right? So if that was really, and there are some species that are born 1-to-1, we ain't that.
Mm.
So what is intended and what we're supposed to be versus what's reality is two
Right.
different things.
Mhm.
We got to come to a median in the middle
yeah.
between men and women and an understanding, but that comes with knowing each other.
I,
And
I,
men are taught the lie.
I hate the fact that we kind of blind to the fact that women were cheating too. How many people have cousins who got a different daddy who, and we just lied to the family. Oh yeah, that we came from the same father and everything like
Absolutely.
Listen,
that's been happening.
don't-
That-
Yeah, you're
for
right.
I think
a
it's
while.
We
nature
just
versus
listen.
nurture.
We never chose to speak on things
That's a
like
fact.
that.
I
So
think-
we were stuck just
It wasn't no Hallmark channels or no own networks for men. Like if they did, trust there'd be a lot more horror stories than what being portrayed now.
No paternity tests, man. Them
True.
kids
I
that you
agree
think
with
is
that.
yours,
True.
they
I
don't
agree
be
with
yours.
that.
I ain't
I
gonna
agree
lie
with
to you.
that.
Man.
That's
Like
true.
you
I
be
agree
finding
with
out
that.
50 years later.
That was
I'm
that
going
was
to jail.
That's not my son. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. Like women
One
been
time
doing
for
it. It
kids,
just
too.
wasn't
I agree
glorified.
with that. But you
Because
also
men is not
have,
out here like, oh, my girl.
but you also
cheated,
have
bro.
women that raise the outside kid too.
Yes.
Women do it too.
Yeah, but that's out and open. You knew that was the
I
outside
think
kid.
all
I mean,
so it's
versus
okay because it was out in the
that's
open.
better than thinking a kid is yours for 50 years.
No, it's not.
All right, I'd rather
No.
know.
It's not good on any level.
I'm not saying it's good or
On
not,
any
but
level.
I'd rather know that's not my kid
Yes,
and
you
let
should
me make
rather.
that decision to raise that kid than to think that that's my kid for 50 years and then I find out it's not.
Yeah, that's a different level
agree
of
with
like betrayal. Like,
Right.
but I do agree with you. Mostly it does come down to the individualism, the selfishness. You know, you got people prioritizing their careers or they want to travel the world. Now we got so away from the nuclear family, especially in our community. And we're seeing the ramifications of not having that nuclear family. We've seen the lack of, you know, women being protected. We don't have that community anymore. We've seen the lack of leadership. The lack
they
of
don't
leadership.
feel like they got to protect us anymore. The men, they don't. They do not feel like they have to protect us anymore because we've taken on such a masculine role. And they say,
well,
you got
between that and y'all telling the world that y'all don't need a man to defend y'all and protect y'all and stuff like that. I mean,
Who
that's
says
fair.
that? Women
But
say
could
that.
Yeah, women
they?
say that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's one of y'all mantras.
Could
I'm
they?
strong, independent, don't need no man. Don't need no man mean I don't need a man to protect me either, right? Like
No,
you can't
you're
pick
right.
and choose when you don't.
I don't
need,
think
I
they're
don't
saying
need a
it
man.
correctly. They don't need that type of man.
But you got to articulate because when you say I don't need something, that means you don't need it at all.
Right.
Like you're not saying I
All
don't need him
levels.
financially. I don't need him for this. I don't need him for sex. You just saying I don't need him completely. Like
Yo,
you know
y'all
what I
got
mean?
another mic? That
But
nigga
what are
got
they
that shit on
protecting
fire right now.
men? If men were protecting women, what are they protecting them from? And if we're talking about within our community, can they?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. But I do think me personally, I don't think it's the job of a random individual to protect a random person on the street. I think that's where your family needs to come into place. That's where your community needs to come into place. Like, I don't think a man should risk his life for a random woman. I've seen actual stories of that, of a man protecting a random woman and lost his life for that. Like, you know what I mean? I think that responsibility needs to be held on your family members, your community, you know, that protect Black women. Like, I don't think you should put yourself
But
in
our
a
community
situation.
is not necessarily able to protect itself, right?
We don't have community right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now when I say, can they? Can they?
You got
Are
brothers.
we
You
in
got
a
brothers. You
posi-
got
I
brothers.
absolutely have brothers,
You
fathers,
got uncles,
all of that.
and cousins, and
And I
stuff
know
like
that they would if they're here, but right now in this room, they're not, right? So even the protection is an illusion that we're asking for, and that's the reality, right? In other communities, they don't have to ask for the protection; they've established it.
That's right.
Right? A certain
tribes,
type of
everything.
woman
They know what time
doesn't
it is.
have to ask for protection.
Yep.
Right? We having this conversation as if it's something we can do. I don't.
No, I think it is something that we do. We just have to put the steps into place. We're going away from the nuclear, from the community.
Right.
that's what I'm saying. We have to get back to the communities.
family,
The Jewish
community.
community, they have a community. You can't do nothing to them.
Community is
Like, you know?
so far gone. It's
That's
we
like
gotta
me.
start with
We
the
Black
family.
men. We could go outside and lose our lives. Who the fuck is there to protect us? Like, damn sure ain't the police. They killing us. Like, you get what I'm
Anybody can
saying?
walk
Like, you know
outside
what I
and
mean?
lose their
So
life.
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Anybody.
but if we had more communities where we feel more comfortable, like, listen, there ain't nothing gonna happen to this person, but we too busy fighting against each other. We too busy having these gender wars. We
Getting
too
all
busy
much
trying to
structure.
divide. Trying to divide each other. Like,
I think that when women are saying like protect us, ultimately for the majority of women, if a man is protecting us, he's protecting us from other men. So when they're saying I don't need a man, you protecting me from what's if he didn't exist, I wouldn't need protection, right? And I'm not saying that's the right way to go at all, right?
sound
I
like
love
feminist
men. You
talking
guys are
points
great.
right now. Like,
You guys are all great. I love you all, right? That's not what I mean. Right? Everybody's great. That's not what I mean. But what I'm saying is that we're at a point where a lot of women are fed up with these things, and when they're saying that I don't need a man, this is what they mean, right? And it doesn't mean that, of course, they would still like a man. They would still like for us to have a community. It's just not where we are, right? So we got to start with family, and then when we do right by family, like what we're talking about.
yeah, but how can we
relationships,
build family? Because this is the mindset of Black men. How can we build family when, number one, our women would rather prioritize their career over building a family? Number two, you guys constantly, every chance y'all get, y'all keep telling us that y'all don't need us. Y'all think psychologically that doesn't play a toll on us. Imagine somebody keep telling you they don't need you. They're going to go somewhere where they're going to feel wanted,
It's just
I
like
like
appreciated.
women telling you that.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
I don't feel like women are purposely saying I don't need a man. It's coming from a place of trauma, a place of hurt. So it's not like we're saying,
but you're hurting us within that trauma. Like,
but you at the same time, you're not supposed to turn around and meet us with the same energy. You're supposed to meet me with that protection, that comfort. Make me, how would I say, what's the word I'm looking for? Make me come to a realization like I do need you.
Yeah.
If you're not giving me that energy, then nigga, fuck you. I don't need you neither.
That's a double wrong. You want me to? It's fuck you if you try and fuck you if you don't try hard enough. Like where the fuck?
Danny, I be damn. Why do black men be dating outside their? Listen, y'all be answering
So
y'all
then
own
how
questions
much should we
sometimes, like,
endure and take when the constant cheating?
Dude, you have to
and
do the
this is
healing
going
and do
on?
the work. Like just like,
But if you
There
keep
we
doing
go. I
it,
said that.
but if you keep
You're
doing
only
it,
gonna
or men
attract who
keep
you
doing
are.
it, where does the healing come in if you're not even giving me a chance to heal? I'm supposed to automatically just forgive you and
Y'all always choose the time to heal when it's the right dude. What about the poor selection you made and you gave him all the time and effort when he shouldn't have all that opportunity to have access?
We didn't know no better. We didn't know.
But when a good man come,
right,
and he know better, he got to deal with all the shit that the other person put you through.
I'm sorry. So I'm big on healing and getting yourself together before you jump in anything.
Understood.
I'm big on that. And then once again, you are only going to attract who you are. People are going to meet you where you are in life. So if you're meeting a gentleman with the mindset of, I don't got to cook, I don't got to do this, I don't got to do that, and then you're meeting him with that same energy, that's where you are. If I meet a gentleman that's like, listen, let me open the door for you. Let me put my coat in the rain puddle for you. Because that's what you're attracting. So it's still out here. It's what level of healing you are on.
right.
Did you heal yourself? Did you forgive your mother? Did you forgive your dad? Did you forgive all of those things?
But
and
men,
now you're going to meet.
As men, we don't have that excuse or luxury to say, you know what, damn, I had a traumatic mother or
Why?
But that's not
Why don't you have
that?
But we don't have that. We can't say, damn, you know what, these black women ain't showing for me in my life. You know, y'all got to do the work. Like,
that's an excuse.
I get it. You see what you said? We have to take initiative. That's what we're telling women. The trauma, you have to deal with that trauma. Understand?
Absolutely,
there are some men that did you wrong. Like, you know, I understand that, but you can't say we have to tolerate this bad behavior. I don't need you behavior or whatever. They can be like, yo, you got to deal with it. Like, no, we don't have to deal with it. And that's what men are realizing. Just like women don't have to deal with
a good man
like,
is gonna get lost, just like a good girl's gone forever. So is a man. He's gone forever. Nobody can turn, especially a man. You can't turn no hurt man around at all. He really got to do some healing. Because a hurt man, child, he gonna eat the world up. You understand what I'm saying? A man's heart is the world. A man's heart, I feel, is bigger than the ocean. If handled correctly.
Right.
And it also is going to swallow you up, or it's going to do something else to you. So in that sense, if you feel like you're in a situation where you're not if you feel like you're in a situation where you're not feeling appreciated, or if you have a good mother, you don't feel like your mother, that's the way your mother treated your father, or an example that you've seen, you need to go.
But a lot of women is coming into situations expecting you to heal them. You know what I mean? And you're telling them that you need to come heal in these relationships.
Is that what you're attracting? Just asking. Have you attracted that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What's in you that needs to heal?
I mean, I need healing too. Yeah.
There you go. So you're gonna keep meeting people where you are.
All right, but the difference is I'm working on myself. If I'm going into something and you expecting me to heal you, you're not working on yourself, and that's your problem.
Stop meeting people.
For sure.
While you're going into something, that's
no.
You're
Healing
not
is real.
genuinely working on yourself while you're going into something. That's the problem that both men and women have. Men more so than women, but a lot of them, they don't like to be single. And with single is like nobody.
Wait,
right?
men don't like
men always got somebody on a roster.
Oh yeah,
right? Even if it's not a relationship, you got somebody to.
They got a best
for
friend.
Your time, somebody you could have conversations with. Definitely somebody you could have sex with if you're a man of age, right? So that being said, usually a guy could be in a relationship, it's not working out no more, and men usually don't leave; they stay forever. They wait for the woman to leave, right? So they stay with the women, and then of course, you stayed past the expiration date of the
Yep.
relationship. So now at this point, everything she do is a problem. You see her as the problem, not you. And you went from that relationship to the side chick in the next relationship and never healed. And a lot of women do the same thing. They go from relationship to relationship. Being single is okay. You should be single to heal, understand how you contributed to whatever went on in your last relationship. Then you can move on with a healthy one. But when you're going from one to one to one to one, no, you just bring in your baggage, collecting along the way.
Listen, man, I feel like we could talk about this. We could have the
Yeah,
whole
I'm about
episode
to
about
say,
this.
don't we have
You know what
more
I'm saying?
topics?
This is the first topic. Like,
Yeah.
let me get to this next topic, man. Let us know if y'all agree or disagree in the comments, man. Let us know. You know, what common misconceptions from social media do you think impact our daily lives?
Ooh. This one kind of intrigued me because I noticed with my generation, they feel like by 20, I must own a house. I must drive a Lamborghini. I got to work in a skyscraping office. No, baby, your time is your time. Yes, you could work for your time, but when God have something planned for you, don't rush it. Because you going to rush into bullshit. And then now when you're met with more trials and tribulations, then what? Then you going to say he ain't have your back?
Yeah.
That's
and that leads that's a great, I think that's what I was going to say too. I think that leads into why the stress levels and the depression rates are so high in our generation. They say, yo, we got higher stress levels than the Great Depression. Like, how the fuck is that possible? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but again, it's because we're looking on social media. We're constantly comparing ourselves, our relationship, the next door neighbor. Like, we're constantly, and that's affecting us. So, you know what I mean? So, what's your thoughts? What comment? What misconceptions?
All of it. Because if you're a follower, then yeah, everything you see on social media is a problem for you, right? And most of us are raised and conditioned, schooled to be followers. So everything you see, it's a matter of keeping up with a lifestyle, like she's saying, that's not realistic. And that you don't have to work for anything, that everything's going to magically come to you.
Overnight,
right? We have the most entitled youth ever that feel like they should be rich and, like she said, just everything and don't have to work for anything. So social media is not for kids at all, but a lot of people. If you're a follower, have a following mentality.
Or people with low self-esteem.
Definitely.
Or the depressed that feel like they're not getting nowhere. I feel like social media cleanses are needed. Like, that's not reality. Y'all believe in fake stuff so much that when you're presented with real, you don't know how to reciprocate it. That's why, for me, I can tell when I walk into a room and certain energies just don't fix with my ear. You know why? Because you fake and I'm real. And you can't manage my energy. So, therefore, you're just going to have to hold that.
You are the atmosphere.
Okay.
Well, what's your thoughts on this?
Mine's spirituality. That has taken a toll.
Break that down.
Every scroll is a tarot reader. I think that spirituality. I don't know everybody what y'all believe in, but you know, I love me some God. I love the Most High, and I think that spirituality, not necessarily church or Christianity and all of that stuff. I just think that it's been tarnished, and they have, not to get too crazy with religion and stuff like that, but I think that a lot of people have strayed away from that spiritual connection to God due to social media, hence why their daily awakened lives have no structure, because they don't get up and say thank you. You know what I mean? Thanks, homie. You know, whatever. Nobody is not saying that anymore. They're just getting up. The first thing they do is they're scrolling.
Checking to see if they
First thing they
viral,
do
like,
is scroll, and nobody's not saying thank you, God. I think that's a big. Nothing wrong with Crystal's braces. I love everything. I love all of that stuff. But I'm just saying, like, that has strayed so many people away, because they're saying that if you wear this amethyst, you're good. You don't have to talk to the Most High. You don't have to talk to the Creator. And now you know, my business is because of me. So I think that social media has 100% stripped what our ancestors have taught us as far as with prayer life and stuff like that.
That's valid. Like, I mean.
For me, honestly, I take social media for what it is, which is just entertainment. I don't get that bothered to where I feel like I gotta deactivate my page and then make a fake page to see who's.
I'm surprised you know what social media is. Like, what's social media? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
OF. We said OF.
I said
you gotta bleep that. I gotta bleep that out. Like,
yeah, so I feel like, you know, it all depends on the person. You take it as a grain of salt. Yeah, I'm gonna be involved. I have children, you know, that's of teenage age. They're on there, so I gotta kind of stay in the know, kind of. But I don't let it. Rather, yeah, I like to scroll like everybody else. Oh shit, yeah. But enough to be like I'm bothered or I gotta deactivate my page and cleanse my this and that. I'm just not that. And I'm on social media a lot.
Oh, you are? Oh, okay.
You gotta bleep that out.
And when I say a lot, but when I say a lot, I mean more than most of my circle of friends. They're on there, but you know. I'm sorry, I'm gonna call you out. She be on there, but not really.
And I'll tell you why. Because they used to separate us in school. It was advanced placement and regular, and we all mixed together in
special
social
ed,
media.
like-
Yes. And you can find a million people that agree with your idiot idea. And now all of a sudden you're a genius.
Yes.
No, I'm not with it.
So I just, you know, influences, but you know.
That's a good one there.
But it's true. So, but you know, I just don't let it get that deep for me.
Yeah, I got you.
So,
what's your thoughts on this, Jew?
I got a few. One to tackle when she said, your self-esteem. I'm concerned about our future. You know, it's controlling our children more than the parents are.
Yep.
You understand? So I'm having this fight now with my kids wanting to be on it, and I'm saying no. But if everybody else is doing it, it's like I'm the wrong parent.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So just even the belief of, you know, you said religion. People are hearing everybody else choice of religion and choice and beliefs. And just because you know how to word it right and you sound good saying it, I'm going to follow with you.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And we talk about elections and stuff like that. It is clips that make Trump look like a pretty nice guy. You know, this shit ain't true. Sorry, sir. Don't get me later. But, you know, it's just a lot of manipulating going on. I hear women say, men don't pay for dates, and men want to be sassy, but their examples is they want to hold roses, and a lot of these women don't experience these things, but they voice it because of what social media portrays. And as well as men, some men have good women at home, but we still marching to the tune of, yo, these women don't know how to stay in their place. And yo, I got a woman at home, and if I say, yo, you need to put some bread into this, she gonna do it. So there are women out here that are good. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But we can't only voice. We get loud when we hear some negative shit to make us roar to, but we don't have that same voice when it's some positive shit to hug somebody to. So that's just how I feel about it.
Well said.
Oh, they got this.
Okay, snapping. Okay.
What's your thoughts, Ace?
Misconceptions that I think one that come to mind is that relationships are perfect. I think that people go on social media, they see everybody on vacation on their nice dinners, and they think, oh yeah, this is a relationship supposed to be, but they don't see the negative, like the fights, the before they went to this vacation, like, yo, hurry up and get your ass ready, like, you know what I mean, like, so they exactly.
Yeah, they ain't have to go that extreme. Like,
I just made a little argument, but I mean, but
they sat next to the abuser. That's crazy.
That's not me, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Serious?
No, I said
I'm about to say.
No, that's not. No abuse going on here, guys. Like no abuse. But another one I think is that I see a lot of women saying that men don't prefer natural women on social media, and it's because the BBL warriors, they get a lot of likes. They get a lot of likes on social media, so women equate that to preference when in reality men is telling you, nah, I like natural women. You know what I mean? I don't like the wigs. I don't like the lashes and shit like that. And
you know, it is the natural women don't be on social media butt ass nigga. Like that's what the BBLs be on butt ass niggas. So it's like, damn, like, you know what I
that's a
mean?
good point, right?
Yeah, like so.
I already know what it is.
So the point
getting
getting misconstrued. You know what I mean?
And then I ain't gonna front somebody like me. I try to trick
my.
myself and assume women are natural because they be in the gym. So I'm like, damn, she worked hard to get that physique.
You don't be seeing
like,
the lines and the stitches
that
and all that.
Yo,
the angles,
doctor's too good these days, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
I ain't
photos.
But I ain't gonna lie, some of y'all women, y'all ain't going to Dr. Miami. What they going to Dr. Fort Lauderdale? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to Miami. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. Dr. Jacksonville.
Dr. Fort Lauderdale, man.
But that's a great point.
It did.
Damn, you took all my. I wasn't going to say
right.
I was going to say the relationship one because
okay.
like that is one that's big to me because you know as I'm getting older, I value marriage and family way more than I did when I was younger. And you know, my mom is married. She's been married for close to 20 years now.
Wow.
And you know, you see the ups and downs, and I know what to anticipate everything's not gonna be perfect. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm ready to adapt to that. Like, I feel like so, but you don't see that on social media. You just see, like Ace said, just the happy. He brought me this, he brought me that, like whatever the case is. And you know, that's what people are going into a relationship. If I'm not happy 100% of the time, then you know, this relationship is not going to work out. Like, you don't understand that there's a real, you know, so it takes work. Marriage is a work, like, you know, a work in progress. And I think on social media, a lot of times we just assume that every relationship is just
until it blows up.
Until it blow up. Then it's
Until
like,
it
damn, what
blows
happened?
up.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all seem so perfect. Like,
Them pictures don't be up a month later, man. Y'all gotta pay attention.
It all down.
You gotta
Rip
pay
it up.
attention, man.
Some of them be hurting me though. I'm like, damn, Tiana and Iman, damn, Remy and Papoose. Remy, why she did Papoose like that? I'm like, damn.
Not why
like,
she
you know what I'm
don't.
Don't even.
What, y'all
open
got
up
the
those
exclusive?
cans of
What-
worms.
What happened?
What y'all know, son? We all
Nah, we don't. Next question,
on social
please.
media?
Where y'all see it from again? The
Question.
BX, right?
Don't worry.
Big X.
Big X. All right, so talk your shit. Talk your
Next
shit.
question,
Tell me,
please.
cause
Don't do that to my girl Rem.
Cause we out here.
We don't know what happened.
right here
No.
too.
We gotta hold
hold
them
her
accountable.
word.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Cause what it looking bad for your girl.
It didn't work.
It don't
That's
look
it.
bad for that.
Nah.
It
It
looks
didn't
bad
work.
from
That's it.
which eye? We looking from?
Hello.
The
All right,
the
I'm sorry.
aisle where he had to knock somebody out because he was with his shorty. What you mean? That's
What the world showed you, right?
right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
So let's just.
I thought y'all was clearing up some rumors. man.
Nah.
No, I don't have.
You don't know them?
I have no stand.
You don't know
in
them.
anybody's business.
Oh, all right. So how do y'all have a different?
I was giving you a different perspective.
Even if it's wrong information, as a man, you would have to stand up and speak and correct yourself.
Which he won't.
I think the flaw in this is that we don't hear her voicing, "Hey, this is
She don't have to address y'all.
I mean,
She don't have to address us.
But if it was Pap, he would have had to speak.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes.
No, he wouldn't.
He's not
If it was
speaking.
Pap, he was
No.
gonna get
no,
paid.
We not about to do that. We not about
He's
to
not
do that.
speaking.
he
Everybody
would've
else is
got-
speaking for him.
He would have got
because-
dragged. Yes.
Wait, time out. This go back to the August Asina and Jada situation. They clearly
That was an
had a
entanglement.
now, so we calling it different
And it
words
look- and it
now.
look-
Like, you know what I'm saying?
And it looked like Remy had an
If
entanglement
Will-
too.
Right.
If Will was messing with somebody that was younger, like, he could not get away with
We
no.
can't use them because they've been
That don't
swingers
mean
their
that
whole
he didn't do
relationship.
it.
Just cause what?
You
They've been
didn't see what
swingers.
he did. That don't mean he didn't do it.
That part.
No
look-
woman ain't just gonna flip out like that.
So you,
What? Y'all
so you,
think
so
we're-
you,
Absolutely
What if he
not.
did it
so
first?
you going off that because she flipped out like that he did something? That's what you trying to say?
I'm
What if
saying
he
things
did
wasn't.
first?
I'm saying what
How you know
I'm
that?
saying is
How you know that?
what.
Girl
same
code,
reason.
girl code.
Listen.
They
What?
gotta stand.
Real fast. I know. Real fast.
Mhm.
Only we don't know
Mhm.
the real story.
We don't.
The Hollywood story. We only know what social media presented to us,
Mhm.
which is to make this individual lady look like
Shit.
right.
Mhm.
Right. We don't know if off camera was she caught in her bedroom with him or in a hotel with him, or maybe
In the
not even
car.
that. Maybe it was just between them. Maybe he was abusive. Maybe he has a drinking problem that the world doesn't know about. Maybe he likes cocaine.
But why-
Maybe he likes these. We don't know. Not saying you do. Don't come for me. Okay, I'm just from the Bronx.
But my thing is, why are we
Big
always consistently justifying
Making
when
excuses.
just like Sky Jackson, she just got arrested for domestic
Right.
abuse. But now we saying, oh,
She's
he
crazy.
must
He
have
musta-
did something like,
Mhm.
no, like why are we always justifying when women do something wrong? Like, hold them accountable. accountable, just like y'all want men to hold men accountable when they do some shit.
I don't even want to hold anybody accountable. I really don't care.
It sounds like you holding Papoose accountable for the shit that, like,
I'm just, what I was saying was...
He deserved to get cheated on. I don't know what really happened.
No one deserves that. No one
cheating.
deserves that. No one deserves that. I just feel like it was blown out of proportion.
It wasn't. Men was just hyped that a woman the verses was switched, the roles was switched, and now a woman finally got
feel like
caught
everybody,
cheating,
a lot of men didn't want that,
and under the rug. And if it was Pap, we would have been loud, right?
That's a fact.
Oh my God, he did that to her.
Yeah.
It was, he held her down in jail. How could she do that? Y'all.
It wasn't even that, man.
It was the epitome of black love.
Remy and Pap, that was like black love, and it was,
and now it's not.
Right.
And that's why we gotta hold them accountable.
You gotta hold them accountable.
Because the same way we held
them accountable.
Right.
I can't hold Pap accountable because, as far as I know, he didn't do nothing wrong.
All right. So Remy did it.
I'm not speculating that he did something wrong. If that's not what I heard.
It's okay.
What I heard is that she was with dude.
Mm-hmm.
He had to knock him out. You know what I mean? And she cheated on him. He held her down. He wasn't in no blogs like, they seen Pap outside.
They would for sure had it on TMZ.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like,
does that mean he wasn't?
He did that whole 6 years.
That boy.
Just asking.
Damn.
Just asking. You as a man, knowing how y'all are.
Time out. But that is an assumption. There's nothing that came out that said that.
Correct.
All y'all, everything y'all saying now is assumption. We saying what actually, we seen her standing with dude. We seen other people talking about it.
I didn't see him.
But the question is, do you feel?
The Denny's.
The question is, do you feel he didn't do anything the whole 6 years?
It's not about what I feel.
It is though.
It's about what I see.
And what I can prove.
And it's about what you know.
Ain't about to throw men under the bus.
Not about what you know, it's about what you can prove.
We know.
I like
most
Pat.
likely the 6 years. Come on.
I like Pat. He held it down.
That being said, fair enough. Because at the end of the day, we can only go off of what's been presented.
Correct.
And off of what's been presented, Remy's wrong. Right? So, okay, cool.
Damn,
fair enough.
Why couldn't it be that easy? Like, why couldn't it be that easy?
But I said Remy did it. I said that 5 years ago.
After she said, he could have been cheating. He could have been doing this. He could have been abusive. Like,
I said that.
I mean,
why we got to go through that in order to get to this?
If it was a man. He wrong, he got to stand on.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been like, what did she do wrong? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't have had that conversation.
Do that.
Listen.
Yo.
He said, that's my girl. I'm going to stick beside her.
I'm going to stick beside her.
Listen, let me get to this.
Squad, we don't want no beef, though.
Wow, defending her.
Let me get to this next topic, right? What actions or behaviors make you lose trust in someone?
If ain't nobody gonna go, I just want to throw this out here. If I catch you in a lie, that's number one right there. Like I can't trust nothing you saying no more.
Now, what kind of lie we talking about? Like,
it could be if it's a small lie, I think that's even worse. Because why you lying about that? Like,
yeah, like if you live with your mama, just say it. Like, just say it.
Yeah.
Yo,
that was your wedding you was at. Just say that.
Right.
Famously, this has been a quote. This has been a quote that has been thrown at a lot of black men. So I'm gonna ask it to you. Who hurt you?
Who hurt me?
Yeah.
Shit, I hurt myself.
That's called accountability. That's a called accountability.
That is accountability. Like, that's a great answer.
That's a great answer, man.
I did it.
So
Nobody's responsible for this.
I did, and I do it again.
No, I
won't. So what else we got? We got lying. What else we got?
For me, lack of communication and attention.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. What else we got?
I took y'all answers, huh?
I want to say
no. I don't have an answer.
Oh, y'all gonna answer?
Yeah. Can you repeat the question, please?
What actions or behaviors make you lose trust in someone?
Hygiene.
Ooh.
You smell like shit.
So if a nigga stink, you can't. If a nigga stink, you can't trust him.
Let's not say smell like shit. I would like to say,
be nice.
Nah, be real.
No, be real.
You don't
be real.
Hygiene. You have to have great hygiene. If your representative was here the whole time and now we finally meet you and you don't change your drawers as often as you supposed to, like every day, and you just put it back on because I just gotta what the fuck?
But how
That make
Somebody hurt.
What is that?
Like,
No,
somebody
it's
hurt.
not. No, I'm just saying. I've seen it. I've heard stories. I've seen it. You don't know what these men do outside of this.
BX niggas, y'all doing
gonna
bad
happen?
after this.
No. This was definitely a Queens guy.
See, I said somebody hurt.
They love coming for the Bronx.
That was hygiene.
And
What's
we're
going on?
getting to the root of the problem.
If your gums are bleeding.
Your guns are bleeding.
Yes, some people have
Gingivitis?
bleeding gums.
If your fingernails
And they'll
are
go
black
to-
constantly.
So that way you don't see it.
Tongues.
Tia Kempin all day. What are we doing?
People just walk around with bleeding gums.
People walk around with bleeding gums. I'm sorry you're not amongst the population of bleeding gums.
You're
Yo, show
sorry?
me your
You're
video.
sorry?
This is the time for the
I'm happy.
promo.
Like,
But hygiene is a big thing.
Gingivitis proof, like the video.
Yeah, hygiene is a big thing. If you're still out here using Dove soap, that's crazy.
wait, what?
You know,
Damn,
like
that's crazy.
come on,
That's
like
crazy.
you gotta,
And
you gotta
you
figure
trying to
it
get
out.
sponsored by
Yeah, we
Dove.
trying to get sponsored and shit. Like Dove soap is
You
crazy.
should.
Soap lotion.
Yo,
You should.
Yo, Dove, the views of her don't depict the views of Dailyrapupcrew.
You
Yeah, I
should.
don't know. What's wrong with the Dove though?
Sponsor
Like,
us. Man.
It's crazy. Dove, Irish Spring. Irish Spring kills ants. I'm just saying.
You all what?
Listen, yeah,
Man,
shave it up.
those are my
You don't ever
go-to,
watch them
like-
DIYs. You're not on TikTok.
that's my
then.
go-to. Like, what the fuck? Like, yo, shit. Like,
If you drop a,
Don't tell me.
Yeah.
No, all jokes aside, hygiene. Hygiene is a big thing for me. Like,
I agree with you. I don't know if it's for the same reason, but I do agree with you though.
Yeah.
Like, if you stink, I probably can't trust you neither. Like,
it's beyond. It's more things beyond funk.
yeah, but if I'm next to you, you know what I mean, you don't take care of yourself. It's
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
once you see it, it's over. It's
yeah,
right.
I mean,
that's an interesting take.
I got something now.
Yeah.
well, go ahead, man. If you got OnlyFans,
It's called of. What turns me off is a person who doesn't like to get uncomfortable. Everything just has to be the same
In their comfort
exact
zone?
way all the time. That goes with traveling. That goes with style, right? If every day all you do is get up and put on and everything on your feet is a pair of Jordans, every single weddings, dates.
Damn, he got Jordans on.
Part.
I think y'all flipping the topic too.
yeah, it's what make you not trust a person. You say if they comfortable, you can't trust them.
If
If you comfortable with doing
if
the same
you're
shit.
right, if you're
all the
just
time.
always want, like for instance,
You can't trust them.
you don't. I don't. That's just me.
That sound like a
This
reliable.
is why they
person. Like,
friendships
oh,
don't last. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, yo, like,
Yeah.
Travel a little bit. Get off the block.
But why can you not trust
the
that
world
person
is
because
bigger
of
than
that though?
because the world is bigger than Queens. That lets me know that you're scared to try risk. That doesn't
But you
make
can't trust me.
So, all right. Some of the
Maybe
things
you're
she's
not
saying,
getting what I'm
I'm
saying.
not getting it. I ain't gonna
And
All
that's okay too.
lie.
For me, that's called freaky bum activity.
Freaky what?
I like
So,
that for you.
You don't want to
Freaky
change nothing.
freaky
Your
bum activity.
money management is poor.
Mm.
You don't want to do better with yourself.
You're just stagnant in the same spot and you're okay with it.
You're not trying to do more
I
than
don't
what you're
trust that.
presented to do.
Because how are you supposed to lead me now? Because you supposed to lead me.
It's
You my
niggas
man.
doing so much in the world right now. Y'all be having all this women intuition. Y'all can't tell me any other reason why y'all think y'all couldn't trust a man.
I'm just going.
Like what? What do you want to say?
That's my
Yeah,
topic.
your truth.
I just did, and you're not taking
Okay.
it.
I'm not gonna hold you. When
Oh.
she said that, I thought about a friend that fits that category, and I would say I for sure don't trust them. Like, and like, yo, I thought about a friend. She said that, and I'm thinking about a friend right now, and I'm like, yeah.
What, that they don't travel?
But
Not that they don't try. They
It's not
stagnant. They stagnant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
in the same spot.
and you don't trust them in what sense? Though?
And
I
and
can't
they
grow from you. There's no growth.
They have
We can't
poor
grow
money
from each other.
management. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Everything you
Being
said.
in the
All right.
same spot.
Let me give an
I can
example.
understand poor money management, but
No. Let me give an
go
example.
ahead.
I'm gonna use a alternate name. Tom.
Mhm.
Tom sleeps in his car. He can sleep at the shelter, but he chooses not to. Tom goes play numbers every day. He smokes weed all day.
Mhm.
Tom has a little job, but
Mhm.
as soon as he get the money, he wants to
Okay.
rent a room to go fuck, but he doesn't want to invest his money in nothing else. You don't want to pay your bills.
You
don't-
still getting the
freaky
fuck?
bum activity.
Freaky.
still getting
Freaky
pussy?
bum activity.
Freaky bum,
Somebody
okay.
give him to him. Right or
Freaky
wrong.
bum.
That's what y'all
Somebody.
said.
He said
Tom ain't
trust
gonna-
A little
Y'all
Don
said-
Julio and some weed, and somebody
men
gonna
don't
pop
have to
it.
put in that much work anymore because there's women out there willing to give it up. Or whatever.
Wasn't the
it is.
question?
What makes you lose?
So I
interest?
don't
What
trust
actions
you.
or
No, you
can't get
behaviors
it
make
together.
you not
What makes
trust
you not
someone?
trust
Like,
somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this doesn't only mean relationships.
Right.
This is girl
yeah,
code
this is-
too,
Right.
and all
yeah,
kind of
general,
stuff.
Like, yeah.
Okay, I mean,
Hygiene.
Listen, fair enough, man. Fair enough, man.
I
Jill,
got
what
a
you got?
I
If
got
you
a
gonna
little
go-
list. when a woman calls her man bro in front of a whole bunch of other niggas, when everybody's her bro, I ain't trusting her either.
When your woman calls you bro in front of guys?
No, me bro in general. Like, I'm not your bro. I'm not your bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did that make you not trust
Not
her?
even jokingly?
Huh?
Not even jokingly? Like in a joking context?
I mean, maybe in a joke, but I'm not your bro. I will never be your bro. You know what I'm saying? A woman going to address me as her man, and I'm going to address her as my woman. And that's just me. If she got a whole bunch of men that her homeboys that I never met, and I never met this bro or homeboy, or he's been my friend for years, what are you talking about? Yeah, you can say I'm
That's
hurt all
not
you
considered
want.
insecurities. I just want to know because
That's
I feel
not
like if
insecurity
women would have said it, it would have been considered
I'm giving you the
insecurities.
opportunity. I said that I didn't meet. So if this is your friend and he got to be to the side tucked in, nah.
Got it.
That
Okay.
I don't trust you.
And the ones that you meet is the ones that's you know what's happening.
Well, yeah.
So either you're gonna put it here or you put it there. It's getting put somewhere.
Well,
so what you're saying is y'all shouldn't have no bros, is what y'all saying.
We shouldn't have no bros.
I mean, the ones that you meet, you can't trust. The ones that you don't meet, you can't trust. Like.
Well, no, not y'all. I just mean, I just feel like if you're in a relationship, not saying that you can't have your people. That's the last thing that I want to say to anybody. I'm just saying that the whole, you can't be doing more with your best friend than you do with your lady. Okay, that's a big red flag. That's a no trust. I'm about to go with Shaquana. I'm going to Whole Foods to get her some food for she can't leave the house
because she gonna cook for us.
I'm also not trusting women that's
like,
going on girl trips 3 times a year. Y'all going on because
I gotta go.
Yes, we go.
Listen, y'all going on those logs to get another log.
That's the type of woman y'all picking up because I don't want to be with nobody when I go.
We know y'all getting that.
If y'all in Jamaica 3 times a year,
I just came back from Jamaica.
Affecting y'all. See,
don't do that.
Social media building up trust issues for y'all.
Or that's what y'all do, and then when we do go away, you think that it's the same thing.
Y'all see the bros trips? You know what I'm
saying?
Exactly. You read our Bibles and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
What you say?
Which Bible?
Huh?
Which version?
Right.
The
The DR version, that's $40.
Get out of here.
They love some DR. $40 and y'all good.
I also don't trust
$40 and
I also wouldn't. I also wouldn't trust a woman that feels like she needs to be going out every weekend or requires a lot of attention, whether it's from me or anybody else. I would prefer it to be for me, but I know that
I was about to
women
say, that's kind of crazy.
Because it's
that's
like
needy, I guess.
Needy.
Let's say I give you a compliment, but you just, you didn't say this about my beret, and you like, damn, I just said you look good, girl.
Yeah,
the fuck?
Definitely can't trust.
That's too much.
Yeah,
that's too.
It is too much, but it's a lot more. But you know what I'm saying?
That's a cool list.
I think mine.
I can't trust a nigga that asks me for bread and then I gotta ask back for the bread. You'll never get another dollar.
You're never gonna get that.
I don't trust.
That is a good point.
I don't trust females who don't like to spend time with their kids. You can't be my friend.
That part.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I like to do things in
the money thing. I think we need to normalize like paying interest on money that you get.
You're never gonna get it back.
We gotta you gotta pay interest on that bitch.
Because I got a homegirl. You owe me $45 for weed. It's been about 3 months now, and then when I asked you about it, you getting mad.
Call out, sis. It's $45.
And then you try to make me feel bad. If you need the little $45, just say that.
And I'm like, girl, it is my little $45.
We're gonna get your money back for you.
You back up when you came to my crib.
Like what?
Yeah.
What's her Instagram?
I'm gonna be nice.
I think somebody that breaks promises, I think for me that's how you lose trust. Somebody that's not reliable, like I hate. I don't know if that's probably in the same category. That's how you lose trust with me. Omitting information, like, you know what I mean? Giving the half truths, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that to me is like, how you lose trust. Like, you had the information, you just didn't give me all of the details. Like, that's like,
the one important part.
Well, what's the reason? I'm not gonna say omitting is not okay, but like, what is okay? I'm just saying, like, what's the reason? What's the relationship, and what is the reason? Sometime you have to like
if you're not involved and don't want to get involved, but you might know something.
Oh, okay.
No,
Right.
no,
Hey,
I get that, but that I'm saying to me, I still do because now I'm gonna question not every other thing about you. Like, is you telling me everything or now? Or you still feel the
just
need
that
to, like,
one
you know
thing
what I mean?
will ruin so much years of friendship. That's crazy.
Yeah,
No.
motherfuckers saying y'all lost friends.
Wait, but if we got so many years of friendship, why would you be
hiding
holding
that?
information from me though?
Okay, because you probably know the level of sensitivity that person may have, and sometimes it's better if
I don't know.
a person doesn't know.
It might
Don't
be-
tell
it
me
might-
everything.
it might be-
if it's something that's
That's
gonna
what I'm
just-
about to say. It
just-
might be
I'm a
different for
thinker.
women. It
I'm
might be
an
different for
Aquarius.
women.
I'm a thinker. My brain goes all boom, boom, boom. I'll be up at night. I'll be all kind of messed up.
I think.
So my friends know, like,
Yeah.
nah, don't not too much on her.
Yeah, I think it might be different for women.
I won't
think
be
with
upset when I do,
we,
like-
we want to know, like, tell the whole truth.
Rip the
Like,
Band-Aid off, motherfucker.
That's bull. That's not true. You don't want the Band-Aid ripped up.
I-
Hairs come off with the band. You
hate
you see your hair follicle. No,
I
baby,
cried
you're not
today,
ready
so
for that.
laughed them all.
Or
Fuck that.
I'd rather know the whole truth. Man. I ain't gonna-
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I just trust people to be who they are.
That's it.
Like trust isn't really lost with me. It has to be earned. So in getting to know somebody, I trust you to be who you are, right? Every friend you can't trust with your money. Every friend you can't trust with your man. Like it's certain people you can't trust around your kids. Like, and they're not necessarily friends, but just people in your life. You trust people to be who they shown you that they are.
Would you keep that person around like if you felt like you couldn't trust them around your significant other?
Absolutely not. My
No.
circle's a dot.
Yeah.
Who?
You
I
said
said my circle is a dot.
Oh, I thought you said they supposed to die.
That's what I said.
That too.
Not on the mic.
Not to
I'm about to be like, friend, you got to get on the
Listen,
train.
let me get to this last time before we get up out of here.
Or,
It's a ton of time.
yo, hit that like button. I mean,
Definitely that like button.
Yeah, I like that.
What's a show or movie you would suggest to for couples to watch?
Oh my God.
The wrong Missy.
The what?
Tubi?
No.
Oh.
the wrong Missy.
Hey yo, I ain't gonna hold you. Tubi is some like that's for couples like that shit funny as fuck. I ain't gonna hold you.
A
Like,
thin line between love and hate.
Oh, yikes.
It's a thin line.
And once you start agreeing too much, you gotta get the fuck up out of there, bro. That's it.
That's what's that Martin and
And when she burnt all the shit.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, watch it. If you don't want that type of consequence, don't say I love you if you don't mean it. Some women are off the rocker. They're one rock away.
You know any kind of mind?
Hey man, I don't know.
yeah, one rock away. Like,
You know she got a cold, she ain't gonna snitch on
Hey man,
That
an
is true.
innocent bystander.
She know a couple. She know a couple for sure. Man.
Rocking chairs still exist.
What else we got? What else we got?
I would say our go-to show that we always talk about, I think is great for couples, Insecure. I think that's
Insecure.
like one of the best shows. You get to see a man fell, a woman fell, and find out if you should heal together, which consequences, who you justify, what part you
Forgiveness,
justify,
you know what I'm
forgiveness, and
saying?
all that. I think that's a great show.
That's a great show. I watched that shit like 5 times. Like, I mean, so.
It's this movie I seen, man. I think it's a Tyler Perry movie. I ain't gonna lie.
Boy.
And
already
it's- and
going
it's-
down
Do
here.
not do that to Tyler.
Yeah, don't do that to Tyler. Shout out to Tyler. He doing his thing, man.
Christina, book me.
It was
He's not here right now.
Shorty's with this dude, and he was trying to get his business off the ground. And then I think she left him. Then he ended up getting
the one that got AIDS on the plane.
And then she went crazy because he was in a new relationship.
No,
She
that's the
went
one
down-
with
Oh, that's-
Taraji P. Henson.
Right.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I think that's a good. I think that's a
About
good
the
one
wrong
for couples
show.
to watch.
My bad.
What's the name of that? Anybody know the name of that?
Acrimony.
Acrimony. Yeah, okay, big one.
A good watch, I believe, is on Netflix. I think it's like The Sacred Heart or The Broken Heart. Basically, when the husband, psychopath, his wife was dying, she needed a heart, so he had somebody like snatch somebody off the street, kill her, and take her heart.
You telling the movie? That's not the
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
I don't want to see that.
I mean, I think that's a plot though. Like,
I mean, I'm definitely intrigued. Like,
That's dope. I'm definitely gonna go watch
yeah,
that.
I'm about to
Right.
watch that bitch,
It's
so,
pretty
you know what I'm
dope.
saying?
okay.
I think for me, I think
Don't say up here. You Googled this?
No. No, I ain't gonna say. You know, I ain't about to see no movies. Like, you know what I'm saying?
How about this?
I was gonna say, Married at First Sight. I think couples should watch that. That shit is like it's a show.
Is that a show?
Oh,
Yeah, it's a show. Yeah. Married
Like
at
a
First.
series?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever watched it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't think couples should watch that?
I'm so shocked.
Oh, I thought I was in a relationship. I was
What do
watching
you
that
mean?
bitch.
Like you just like I
You
see
show
you
up
today
and
and
you get
then
married. You don't even
they
know
sign
what
up, they get a
husband's name is or
professional
what he looks
matchmaker,
like.
and they take in whatever you
Would
want.
y'all do that? Would y'all? Anybody do
Absolutely
that?
not.
Nah. But it's actually is a really good show to watch
I'd
with a
rather
couple.
do that naked in the forest show when they gotta survive.
What y'all watching on TV?
Yeah.
What is it?
I know what
That
you're
one.
talking about.
Naked and
Naked and
afraid.
I would be very afraid.
Naked and afraid.
Yo, real quick,
But that ain't the topic.
real quick, would y'all rather be in the forest with a bear or a man?
Oh Lord. A bill.
Or a man?
What size is the man?
What's-
I'm talking about height.
An average size man, 5'10". That's average, 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah, but I don't want to be with no fucking bear. How I'm gonna talk? I don't talk bear. I don't speak.
All right, just make a choice. What choice you making?
No, I'm gonna be with a man.
Okay, what you picking?
Of course. Adam and Eve.
Hey, I'm gonna get back to you. What you picking?
I might pick the bear because he won't bother me for no coochie.
These bears ain't Winnie the Pooh. Like,
He
what
just
y'all
gonna
think
bother
is
you
like-
for your whole body.
Yeah, like what the fuck, like
You
yo.
want the coochie? Give me
just
your
gonna
body.
get ate up.
He gonna leave the coochie. You got that. What you picking?
Wow.
What you going?
I said, wow.
Worry about me. Y'all like that coochie age.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What you going with? What you going with?
Where did we go?
I have to make a choice. It has to be between
Yeah.
two.
A bear or a man?
I'll go with a guy.
Okay. What you picking?
Although I understand the bear, I'm gonna choose a man. I think I got a better chance.
You say you understand what you fucking Dr. Doolittle? You talking?
No, I
You don't know
understand
her
why
life.
people
Right.
would choose the bear, right? Because it depends on what kind of bear. Like some of them will leave you alone. Like it depends, right? You just stay still, they'll leave. It depends on what type of bear.
Where did you get? What's happening? What's going on? Why did you
This
say
is-
that?
This is a social media question that's going around.
I don't
and,
like-
and a lot of women a lot of women are picking the bear for some reason. I ain't gonna lie.
They
'Cause
feel
they're
safe.
thinking
Well,
about-
I mean, a lot of
Safer
women.
with a
They're
bear?
thinking about like
I'm
sexual
saying.
behavior.
I don't want.
That's why
I
they're
just want to.
picking
I
the
want to
man.
speak, sis. I want to talk to somebody. We can figure out how we're gonna get out of here. Wait, are we trapped?
No, you're thinking as a logical.
That sounds logical. That
You're
sounds
thinking as a
logical.
logical
Trapped.
woman.
So
like,
many circumstances.
It sounds
right?
logical.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, we can climb up. We can beat the serpent.
Just,
Right?
You know.
At least
just
the bear's
imagine
wood is
if
not
Eve
getting
thought
hard
the
in the
same
morning.
thing.
What?
At least a
You said
bear.
what?
But my
At
friend
least the
said.
bear's wood is not getting hard in the morning. You ain't gotta deal with.
But what's
all of
But
that.
he
His,
can
his teeth is.
I don't agree.
I mean, it varies, right? I get it, but I mean, your chances are better with a man.
Y'all really
right?
think a
Like, you
nigga
could
gonna be
pick
in
up
the
a
woods
rock,
and he
you could pick
thinking,
up a
damn,
stick, like,
I'm trying to fuck her
no
behind
wind's
the like
gonna
he
be
trying to
Absolutely.
escape. He trying to escape just like y'all.
You never
trying to
see those
escape.
movies when they're like in danger and they have to stop and fuck. Like, why?
That movie with Brad Pitt fighting.
I don't know what movie that
You
is.
don't see those
Every horror
movies?
movie.
They're like,
actually-
they're like in the heat of like they're in like a bad place, and then they're like in the bottom of a basement, and he felt attracted to her dirty body, and it went down, and then there's a fucking spider on top of the house
Yeah, but that was
getting ready to eat him
consensual, like,
up.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's different. Like
I don't feel horny in danger.
she did. She clearly did. Like you know what I'm saying?
Nice.
You about to
Like,
die.
I mean, we stuck in the basement. We about to die anyway. I'm like,
See?
Why not?
I mean,
it just doesn't work
And it
that
also
way.
depends on how she look. I might
nah.
take my chance.
But if I'm in the woods running for my life, you talk about you running for your life. You're like, yo, real quick before we know, like.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many other factors. Like, why is that the only choice that I have? And are we stuck?
Y'all don't know.
That's
Y'all don't know.
because I'm
y'all
just
are.
gonna walk to a road.
Right. So could
You
we
don't
ask
know where
a
the road
reverse
is.
question for
You don't know
guys?
where the
road is.
Like, not about a woman. Nah, nice try.
I'm not even thinking about sex at all.
I get it, but would you be in the woods with a woman or a bear? That's not what I want to ask.
Okay.
Would you leave your children, your child, your female daughters in the woods with a bear or a man?
With a man.
with a man, bro. Like,
Everybody-
what?
Yeah, like
He's more. It's
Excellent.
more.
I'm not about to villainize a whole fucking category
I
of
would
men off
prefer
of the few
a bear.
experiences. Like it's crazy how we're judging all men based off the actions of a few.
No.
Like I
Worst
get it.
case
There are
scenario.
some horrible men,
It's on.
but to justify being in the woods with a fucking bear that don't give a fuck about you,
Yeah.
like what the fuck is going on?
My
Like,
thing is, y'all think about the bear in the best case scenario, but the man in the worst case scenario.
Right.
Great point.
If you look at both of them in the worst case scenario, I would much rather
Still
take my
it's a
chances
man,
with this
yeah.
nigga than a bear.
Yeah. Because there's no wins with a bear.
Yeah, you not winning that battle.
Yo, a woman
like.
just got mauled to death, like in California. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, by a bear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she probably thought, yeah, the bear friendly. He's Winnie the Pooh in this motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
I have a
He
question.
gonna bring me honey. Like.
What color? What was her color?
Oh, there was a movie like that.
We don't
You said
feel
what
that
color?
way.
Now we racist towards the bear.
No, I did not.
No,
that wasn't not it.
Oh, okay. All right.
That woman that was fondling the bear. I just asked what was the.
Guess what race she?
We all know what race it is. You know what I'm saying?
Gonna rub
We
my
don't know
hand.
black women in the woods.
We don't do that.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate y'all for being on the show again. Let them know where they can follow you at.
Queen_Isha764.
Layla Vendetta.
She picking the bear, y'all.
Vicky Vaughn, House of Vicky Vaughn.
And shout out your hat too.
Thank you. Shout out Glitz Galore.
That hat is hard, bro.
Miss Monique, thank you.
That hat is hard.
Okay, you got something for the guys too. You ain't bringing something.
Absolutely, she has something for the guys. You can actually follow her at Glitz Galore X Miss Monique Bentley.
Indeed. All right, appreciate y'all.
And where can they follow you on the OnlyFans, real quick?
OF.
I thought it was of.
Yo, we appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Hit that like button, man.
Hit the like button, subscribe if y'all didn't already subscribe. Join the membership. Cop the merch, man. Dailyrapupcrew.co.
Mm-hmm.
Man.